A man who came to be known as Canada's Cold War hero is being honored today in Ottawa. On September the 5th, 1945, Igor Gouzenko defected from the Soviet embassy, bringing with him details of a communist spy ring in Canada. He was granted political asylum but remained in hiding for the rest of his life, often appearing in public with a bag over his head. Today, Gouzenko's bravery will be formally recognized when a plaque is unveiled in Ottawa. Kavchak has been lobbying for years to get the city to honor Gouzenko. He'll be part of today's ceremony, and he joins me now from Donald Park in Ottawa, where the plaque is going to be unveiled. Mr. Kavchak, tell me why Mr. Gouzenko is so important to you.
Well, I think Gouzenko is a hero, and he's my hero. And when the Royal Commission in 1946, studying his revelations, concluded its report by saying that by what he had done, he did a great public service for the people of this country and placed Canada in his debt. I think that says it all.
Do you have a personal, I mean, he may be a hero, but obviously for someone to mount a campaign like you have, you must have some kind of a personal connection to this story.
Well, I always found history to be fascinating, and in Canada, all history relating to intelligence and national security matters and espionage always starts off with a chapter on Gouzenko. And I used to come to this park across the street from the building where he lived at the time of his defection, and I couldn't believe that something so dramatic that happened just 3 days after the Japanese surrendered and formally ended World War II was not here commemorated with some sort of a historic marker or plaque. And so in 1999, I began a process of lobbying both the federal and municipal governments to unveil a plaque here, and the city is unveiling a plaque this afternoon, and I received word from Heritage Minister Sheila Copps last July that she had made a formal historic designation of the Gouzenko affair and would be committing Heritage Canada to unveiling a similar brass commemorative plaque here in this park next year.
Now, is that the apartment building behind you?
Yes, it is. 511 Somerset Street in downtown Ottawa. And Igor Gouzenko lived with his wife on the second floor. They had a 2-year-old child, and at the time of the defection in September 45, Svetlana was pregnant. And it was here where he spent 2 harrowing nights where nobody was listening to him. He left the embassy with 109 documents detailing the extent of Soviet espionage and wanted to go to the offices of the Ottawa Journal as well as the Minister of Justice, and nobody listened to him for 2 days. So on the second floor where he was living, he went to a neighbor's apartment because he believed that the Soviet secret police would be coming after him. And sure enough, in the middle of the night, they did. Mr. Pavlov, the head of the KGB at the embassy at the time with a couple of his thugs, came up the building and broke into his apartment while Gouzenko was looking at this through the keyhole of the neighboring apartment. So the drama here is better than any spy novel that I've ever read.
So was it tough to persuade officials that this should be recognized and noted in some way?
Well, it most certainly was. I got a lot of bureaucratic runaround, red tape, procedures, delays. So far I calculated it's been 1,395 days since I started my campaign. By the time the federal government puts up their plaque, it'll be over 1,700 days next year. And I don't see why, it had to take so long unless if there was some initial resistance of sorts. But fortunately it was overcome, and persistence pays off.
So who's going to be there today?
Well, the mayor, Bob Chiarelli of Ottawa, is going to be here, and Councillor Elizabeth Arnold for this riding, who has been really helpful in moving this along and overcoming all the obstacles that I've encountered. And there's a number of dignitaries who've been involved in the Gouzenko story over the years, who've helped the family. There's going to be a number of dignitaries from Parliament who I hope will, they've been invited, I hope they will come. And certainly I'll be here, and as will my family.
All right. Now listen, I know that the plaque's not in place yet, but give us an idea of where it is from where you are now. So if the cameraman there can help us out with this.
Okay. Well, the pedestal has been installed a few days ago, and the plaque itself is coming. It's going to be installed around noon today. It's coming from out of town, and it's just at a location about 10 feet right of where I am. It's going to be directly across the street from the building itself where Gouzenko lived at the time of his defection.
Mr. Kavchak, thank you very much for telling us about this.
Thank you.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
Kavchak led the campaign to have that plaque installed honoring Igor Gouzenko.